Shalom. I just want to start up by saying, Call Layim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rokar Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Peace and salutations to a full leg and the occurrence spreading the truth towards four corners of the earth. My name is Asha Allah. And tonight I just want to talk about life being in the blood. And what that is how you eat your food, how you eat your meats, this week I had a little company lunch, Salaki, and I had to order my food, and we got to talking because I ordered a little steak, but I asked for it well done, no pink, I made the reference no pink in the middle, because some places will say well done, but still put still have a little pink a little bit. So I emphasized on just no pink in the middle, and I was getting ridiculed by my Edomite coworkers that, I should be locked up. I should be put to jail for, eating my steak like that. This is just drier than heck. It's what they claim, but I asked them, how they like theirs, I like theirs. They said, medium rare and, medium well, which still has the pink in the middle. And, assuming that there was Christians, they were God-fearing people, supposedly, that's not how you're supposed to eat your food. The Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, gave the Israelites, a dietary plan, on how to, conduct themselves when it comes to cooking their meat, So without further ado, I'm going to just jump right into it. This is Jeremiah 10:1. It says, Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So the Lord is saying, learn not the way of the heathen. Why? Because the heathen is the heathen for a reason. We were given law, statutes, and commandments to govern the earth. Deuteronomy 4, and I'm gonna just start at verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and surely say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So these law, statutes, and commandments that we were given, to conduct ourselves, how to treat the earth, how to live off the earth, it was supposed to be our wisdom and our understanding in the sight of the nations, so that the nations looked up to us like, yeah, this is a wise and understanding people, surely this is God's people, but our people had followed, after the ways of the heathen, and it's been like that for a very long time. Our people wanting to be mingled into learn the ways of the heathen, when the Lord says strictly, learn not the way of the heathen, because eating your meats raw with pink in it, with blood in it, that's the way of the heathen. That's how Esau, that's a factor we can, that's a factor how we could determine Esau being the so-called white man, going to this Genesis 25. In verse let's see, just start at verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field and was very faint. Esau was a cunning hunter, as reading up. And his father Isaac loved him because he brought home he brought home the meats, man. He brought home the good game, And it says, reading verse 29, which I just read in the NLT, one day when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home from the wilderness, exhausted and hungry, you know. So Jacob was, cooking up some pottage, and Esau came from the field and was, he was faint, he was on the verge of giving up the ghost, Verse 30, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, His name was called Edom because it meant red. He wanted that red pottage, When you go into that word pottage, I did that on the etymon online. It means soup or meat broth, But the scriptures clearly say that this was meat, So that red pottage was actually uncooked meat, that Jacob was cooking up, And Esau asked, for that same red pottage, that red stew that was as the way it is, not fully finished cooked. He asked for that same red pottage at the very moment Jacob was cooking it. He says, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. He was called Edom because, for that red pottage. Even reading it in the NLT, Esau said to Jacob, I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew. This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. So going into, and when you go into it, it says lentils. When you go into the word pottage, like lentils, but Hebrews 12:6 says, 12:16, Salakia, past it, says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright, So it was clearly understood that red pottage was a pottage of meat, man. Was a red stew going on, which was uncooked, unfinished at the time that Esau asked for that red pottage, in that very moment. So I just want to hit the Psalms real quick. Psalms 106. Psalms 106, and let me see. Okay. Psalms 106 and 35, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them, And so this happened back in the ancient days, So and nothing's new under the sun. So how much today, you got our people intermingled with the heathen, learning their works, because you be more and more I be seeing Jake getting their food ordered medium rare, and they know, like in their conscious, like that's like, growing up, like, you got your food cooked well done. Your food was cooked thoroughly through, Now, you start being mingled in with these heathen, you start, learning their ways, hanging out with them, then your diet changes to, not diet, but, your food preference change from well done to a medium rare, Because Esau Edom, they push out there, that it has a lot of health benefits. The meat's juicier, you get more protein, you want to get more lean, have the pink in the meat, but let's go to a couple of the laws, which says, there's, you're not supposed to, be eating the blood, Leviticus 17, and I just started verse 10, and whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans today, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among the people, So it says, whoever be of Israel, or the strangers that, journey with Israel, that eateth any manner of blood, I will set my face against them, because that was the custom of the heathen. The heathen would drink blood, bathe in blood and shit, and all types of stuff, man. Verse 11, for the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls, for it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. So it says, for the life of the flesh is in the blood, and when we did our sacrifices, our offerings, that blood would only be there, to make an atonement for our souls, upon the altar, Verse 12, therefore I said unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourn among you eat blood, and whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof and cover it with dust. So Esau, he didn't fucking listen to this law, but it said, any one of you, which hunteth and catcheth, any beast that may be eaten, clean animals, that may be eaten, it says when you, it says he shall pour out the blood thereof, which meaning you got to drain the blood of that animal when you kill it, and cover it up with dust, for it is the life of all flesh. The blood of it is the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever shall eat it shall be cut off. You'll be put to death, man. You'll be put away from the people. Let's go. Let's see. Hit this Genesis 9:4, and it says, every moving thing which. Every moving thing, I'm going to just start verse 3, so I can. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require, at the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, and at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. So we it says every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for us, shall be food for us, but we understand throughout the laws the things that are clean for us to eat and the things that are unclean for us to eat, But it says that the flesh, the blood is the life. Basically, is what it's saying. Like that Leviticus I said, the blood is the life, in the flesh. So you shouldn't be eating no flesh with blood in it, man. You should not having your food cooked thoroughly, with no pink in it is how you should be eating your food, man. Let's see, Deuteronomy 12:23. 12 and 23, Salaki, says, be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. you know. Reading it in the NLT, but never consume the blood, for the blood is the life, and you must not consume the lifeblood of the meat. So we have to make sure our food is thoroughly cooked. We have to leave that way of the heathen. Eating your food medium rare. That shit is truly disgusting. Even to look at. I had downloaded a picture to show y'all, but I'm so bugged, man. I'm bugged out even looking at that. But we're not supposed to be eating anything that the blood cometh out of. When we go and put our fork in it, man. Everything's supposed to be well done. Fully cooked. Throughout the whole meat. So hopefully that was edifying. I just want to end off by saying, Call Layam Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone. Peace and salutations to all who like in the accomplishment of truth throughout the four corners of this earth. Shalom.